On December 31st, Maria will co-host New Year's Eve alongside Steve Harvey, live from Times Square. That's for Fox, right?
Yes.
What are the different pairings on all these networks for New Year's Eve? Him with her, him with him. How do they pair you and Steve?
I don't know how they paired us, to be honest, but they called me one day and said, we want you to co-host with Steve Harvey, and I love Steve, and I was like, yeah, I'm in, let's do it. Ended up getting married on the show, and it's been a 3-year tradition for us now.
What is the key to the success of a New Year's Eve show?
To me, I think it's moments. You know, it's fun moments, like getting married. That was a shock for everyone. Nobody knew we were going to get married, especially my parents. So it's big moments. I think it's a blend of fun and heartwarming for me, because we're closing out a year, and you know, a year is filled with highs and lows. So I always love to make sure that we empathize with people that maybe had some lows in the year, but also bring them back up with the hope of the new year. That's my goal.
You're also freezing, right?
We're also generally freezing, yes. We were there for the coldest New Year's Eve, getting married in a little wedding gown. That was pretty brutal, but fun. And then last year was mild and rainy. So every year brings new weather. We'll see what happens this year.
What's Steve like to work with?
He's the best. We have so much fun. He thinks I'm a nut job, because I'm always like, let's zip line from the ball drop to our stage, and let's, you know, sit in an ice bath in Times Square.
You're a production expert.
Yeah, I like having fun. I love experiencing wild moments, and live television, there's nothing better. So
all my life.
Let's do it. Let's go for it. So
okay, you'll see Maria and Steve Harvey on New Year's Eve on Fox. You're also in 70% of movie theaters across the nation. Right. What is that?
So it's called Nuvi, and it's the pre-show to the movies, and it's been really fun. You know, as you know, in your career, when you've had a long one, my favorite part about mine is people know me from different things. They're like, oh, we saw you in the WWE wrestling, or we saw you, you know, on One Tree Hill or the Fantastic Four, or someone else will be like, I saw you in Nuvi in the movie theater.
How often do you change that?
We shoot a bunch of stuff, maybe 2-3 times a year, and then rotate it from there.
Do you go to movies yourself?
All the time.
Do you see yourself?
I don't go to the theater that has me.
You don't? How do you know who has you?
Well, it's 70% of the theaters, so it's like AMC, Regal, and such. But there's one theater in the Valley that we found that's generally empty, and we go to that one. But when we do go to the theaters that have me, Larry, and you know my husband, we've had dinner before, he will embarrass me, which is why I don't want to go to those. I will be in the theater and he'll be like, hey, everybody, she's right here. It's Maria. And then I'm, you know, mortified.
What does he do, your husband?
Kevin, he's a producer and an entrepreneur. We created Afterbuzz TV together.
Well, you got a lot of things going for you. How did bounce all the balls?
I think we just try. It's not easy all the time to bounce all the balls, as you know. I think when things start getting really crazy, you start to look at what you have on your plate and see what you can kind of, you know, put off to another time and bring good people around you.
You have a mentorship program as well. How does that work?
Yeah, well, with Afterbuzz, we have a 50-50 mission. So 50% make great content. The other 50% is help nurture the careers of the talent that comes through those doors. So we've been creating a new Hollywood model for the last almost decade that we're hoping people start to follow, where it isn't about tearing down talent and mind games and manipulations. It's really about helping them prosper, helping them grow, giving them a safe place to work out their talents and their strong suits. And it's been great for me as a broadcaster to be able to offer that to other aspiring hosts. And we've had over 100 success stories. We're the most diverse company you will ever see.
How do people find you?
It's kind of this little like underground secret. If you have a dream in Hollywood, everybody knows. You show up, you come to Afterbuzz, and At this point, it's eclectic because we have new talent coming in, but we also have Emmy winners. We have stars that come in and host shows. We're all over the board.
Could I come in and host a show?
Anytime.
I would love to do that. That would be fun.
It would be fun. What's your favorite TV show?
Oh, Jesus, Law and Order.
Okay, well, you would do the after show for Law and Order. And you could, we'll put together a group for you of diehard fans, and you guys could break down each episode.
Where do you do all this?
So we built out 7 studios in North Hollywood, and so we've got our own facility.
You're hands-on with all this?
I'm pretty hands-on. Kevin really does a lot for Afterbuzz. We've got it split up to our strong suits, basically. So I handle my stuff that I'm really good at, and then he handles the things
How'd
that
you
he's
meet
really
him?
good at. I met him through my cousin 20-something years ago.
What?
Yeah, it'll
hold
be
it,
together,
hold
I
it.
think, 21 this year.
Hold it. You couldn't. 20 years ago, you were 3.
I met him when I was 19, and back in Boston, he was making a movie, and I went to work for him. And the second I met him, I was like, "You're the one. I'm just a chubby 19-year-old in college, but I'm going to make you fall in love with me." And I knew it because his dad had just passed from cancer, and he was telling me how he took massage therapy classes to learn how to heal his dad of pain. And I was like, "You're a caretaker?" In my head, and I'm like, "Oh, he's the one. This is it." And who would know, Larry, that flash forward to years later, we would be together, and he would be my caretaker when I was sick.
Okay, you had surgery for brain tumor. It was benign, right? Mm-hmm. Your mother also had it?
Yes. Well, my mom has a stage 4 brain tumor. It's called glioblastoma. So my mom was diagnosed in 2016, late August. And then by April, I was diagnosed with a meningioma, which is a benign brain tumor. So Dr. Keith Black at Cedars-Sinai operated on both of us within an 8-month span.
Wow. It can't be genetic.
It's not. I had Dr. Melissa Bondi on my show. She's the head researcher for the genetic brain tumor research studies, and she said it was like lightning striking.
How's she doing?
So she was doing really well. We worked really, really hard to look at kind of an East meets West approach to it, and it is a really deadly type of cancer. So the fact that 3+ years later she's still here has been a miracle. But in September, there was a recurrence of the tumor, and so we're back in the throes of the fight again and trying to figure out how this time we can shrink this tumor without surgery because it's too dangerous, and without radiation. So trying to debulk a massive tumor with just medication is the challenge now.
It's stage 4?
Yes.
Is she living by herself?
No, she's living with me. So my parents are with us, and so she has me and Kevin and my dad all taking care of her.
With a stage 4 prognosis, how is she dealing with it?
My mom is really positive and really tough. And we have made it this far. You know, she had that talk with me where she said, oh boy, why am I even bringing this up? I'm gonna cry. Where, just this last go, she's like, I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. I'm like, Mom, you're gonna be here, don't worry. And we're doing everything that we can, It's not up to us. It's God has the answers, but we're going to do everything that we can here. And so we try to make it fun. And, when we're in doctor's appointments, I'm cracking jokes and saying silly things all the time to make them laugh. And we make the most of every day.
When they told you had a brain tumor, that had to be a rocker, right? I mean.
Yeah, initially it was a shock. But I have to say, I kind of knew something bad was coming because...
Headaches?
Yeah, I was having headaches and I was slurring my speech and all these weird things. And so when I went to get the MRI, I could tell that day when they asked me to do another one with contrast. So when you get an MRI, they can do it without contrast. And they put me back in the machine. They said, we're so sorry, we have to do another one with contrast now that the radiologist saw it. And I knew. I went home and I said, honey, get ready. We're going to get some news. And so I was just thankful that from the appearance of it, they can kind of tell If it's benign, so
They
Dr.
knew
Black,
it was benign before they took it out.
Dr. Black said, I've been fooled before, so I can't tell you for sure, but it looks to be benign. It looks to be a meningioma. He's like, I won't know for sure until we
They
biopsy.
still have to take it out.
Mm-hmm.
How did that change you? Illness has to change you.
Oh, yeah. It changed everything. To me, it was God's way of slowing me down because I was in this, gerbil wheel of doing everything.
You call this slowed down?
It is. Trust me, Larry. It is. I've changed my life completely. I think it's really easy to get caught up in wanting to do more and more and more, and when is it ever enough? And we always kind of put our health to the side, and we all will say, you can't do anything without your health, but we don't really listen to that. So now my health completely comes first. And I've slowed my schedule down dramatically so that I could heal, but also I now will only do things that really are going to light me up and bring me joy, and with the people that will light me up and bring me joy. So, yeah, it's a different thing. It's not coming from a fear of missing out anymore or any of that.
You have a podcast too?
It's called Better Together with Maria Menounos. And I transitioned my radio show after surgery into this podcast so that I could go on that health journey that I really needed to go on. And so I bring in the best experts in the world in all areas of health and wellness, even finances, whatever's going to help us get better at the end of the day. And so I'll bring in, this week I had an EMDR expert on the show. I'll bring in brain health experts.
How long is an hour?
Generally around an hour.
Where do you do it?
From my house. I have a studio at home.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well, it's great that I don't have to commute anywhere, so it's easy.
Okay. Never miss a beat. Subscribe to Larry King now and watch new episodes every day.